before we get started, I just wanted to say or give an update on my AMA or Q&A video. The first part, the AMA part, is doing far better than I ever expected it to in regards to comments and questions. I have received more comments on that video than I have 99% of my most recent videos. So yeah, looks like I'm going to be making the Q&A video sooner than I had planned because I have so many questions coming in, and I don't want the Q&A video to be incredibly long. It'll probably be a bit longer than my usual videos, but I don't want it to be like another hour-long video, because that just takes a long time to render and upload. So I'm going to get that video out as soon as I can. Welcome to my show and tell. I've had a few requests I've seen from people say that I should do something like this, and I was looking around figuring out what I should use for a show and tell. I have a few collections, most of them are not here with me, but the one collection I do have with me here is my bookshelf. Specifically the top two shelves of the bookshelf, because those are the only shelves that have books on them at the moment. Everything else is just kind of extra storage until I get more books. But let's go ahead and get started. I have some extra footage that I filmed going across, like panning across each shelf, and some pictures I took that I'll put up during the video. But let's go ahead and start with the first shelf stuff. Actually, I'll have the video playing now. So, as you can see, I have on the first shelf is I have manga that is either finished or I am not going to be buying anymore for a while. This way, it's easier just to keep track of what series I'm done. I have that are finished. Keep all those at the start, and then all the ones at the end are where I add to when I get more volumes. I probably explained that poorly, but hopefully that makes sense. So I have, as you can see up there, Attack on Titan. That is the first manga I've ever bought, and I only bought it up to volume 3. I also have a little Funko Pop from Attack on Titan. I've never actually watched the show past the first half of season 1. For some reason, I've never been able to finish season 1. Not saying it's bad or that I don't like it, but it's just that for some reason I've never been able to finish past season 1. Up next, I have a Manga Kill, which is one of the 2 series that I have that are actually complete. I have one of the series that I finished, and I'll get to that later. Well, kind of finished, but so yeah, this is one of the longest series I have. One of the series that I have the most volumes of in my collection, and it is really good. One of my favorite series that I own. And I'll get to what my actual most favorite is later, because it's on my shelf. Up next, I have Act Age, only the first 2 volumes, because those are all that released in English. I don't know how many released in Japanese, but those are the only 2 that I know released in English, which is a shame because that was actually surprisingly good. I'm not going to get into all the details about why it didn't release past volume 2. It's kind of an unfortunate series of events, an unfortunate story. You can look it up if you want. It involves the creator getting arrested, and I'll just say that. I'm not going into all the details. So it's unfortunate that got cancelled after season or volume 2 in English, because I was really enjoying it much more than I was expecting to, and the art in it is amazing. From what I remember, I haven't looked at it in a while. Next I have Boruto and One Punch Man, Volume 1 of both of those. I got those in a Loot Anime box, subscription box a while ago. So that's why I don't have anything past Volume 1. I've never watched Boruto, but I plan on it. I just need to finish Naruto. I'm on Naruto Shippuden, and it's been so long since I watched that. I stopped. I don't even know what episode I stopped at. A couple hundred in. I got like 300 more episodes to go or whatever. Watched all of the original Naruto and Summer Shippuden. So if I ever finish that, then I'll move on to Boruto. But I have the manga for Boruto Volume 1, and I actually plan on getting all of the Naruto manga as well. But that's a lot. It's going to cost a lot as well. Same with One Punch Man. I'm going to be getting, at some point, I plan on getting the whole series for that. So yeah, so that's the first shelf. I have this one down here off the shelf right now, just because I plan on, for the this part of the video, taking each of what my favorite series from each shelf is, and I'll bring it down. So then at the end I can show what my favorite series I own are. So yeah, here is the first one that I'm taking down. So on my next shelf I have, as you can see, My Hero Academia. I don't have the entire series because I'm more anime only with that, but I have read every single volume that I own of that, and I plan on getting the entire series in manga form as well. So I have My Hero Academia. Up next I have Farmers Neverland, which I have never actually read. I bought those volumes and I never read them. I've seen all of season 1 of the show, and I've seen all of season 2 of the show. I loved season 1, and I enjoyed season 2, but I could tell it was very rushed, and it would not have given the same feeling as if I would have just read it. So I do plan on reading it at some point. But I feel like I enjoyed season 2 more than most because I have never read the manga, so I had no expectations going in. So yeah, I'll probably be disappointed with season 2 after I read it, similar to with another series that I will get to on my next shelf. Actually, it'll be the last shelf I show in the video because I recorded it. I recorded the bottom of the second shelf backwards. So, the Farmers Neverland is another series that I do really like, but mainly because of the anime. One day, I don't know when, I want to get the entire series and read it from start to finish, including the parts that were in season 1 that I already know, even though I know that part was pretty faithful to the manga. I just want to reread it all in case there was anything that was left out or if I forgot anything. So yeah, there's that one. Up next I have the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess manga, which is incredible. It really surprised me. That is the first manga adaptation of any game that I've ever read, and it is amazing. If you're a fan of Twilight Princess, I 100% recommend the Twilight Princess manga. The art in it is great. Link talks in it, which is weird at first because he never talks in the game. And on top of that, it expands the game so much, and there's some parts that are a bit different, but it expands the game quite a bit. It's more violent in the game. Yeah, I was really surprised with how much blood is in it compared to the game, and how violent the manga is compared to the game. So yeah, really, really, really good. I think there's another volume out. I just haven't gotten it yet. There might be 2 volumes out by now. Who knows? But yeah, I want to get more of those at some point as well. Up next is the Dr. Stone manga. I only have volume 1 through 5, but I have not read them yet. I am also similar to My Hero Academia, anime only with that. I absolutely loved season 1 as well as the Stone Wars arc of season 2. Uh, I think the Stone Wars arc is probably my favorite so far of the anime. But I absolutely love Dr. Stone. And you can also see I have some figures along the shelf. I have some My Hero Academia figures that I got from blind boxes. You buy and you get whatever figure you get in it. Although I kind of cheated and opened up the box a tiny bit in the store so I could know what was in it and know if it was one I already had. And as for the All Might versus All for One, All Might versus All for One figure, I actually looked in the boxes because those are two separate figures. You get All Might and you get All for One. I looked in the boxes to see if it was All Might All for One because I was specifically looking for those two. And luckily enough for me, I found both of those at the same time, so I was able to get them both on the same day. And then I also have a Todoroki and Uravri, I don't know how you say her name. So, yeah. And then also on the side of the shelf, I have a little Alita Battle Angel figure that I got from another Loot Anime monthly subscription a while back. And I absolutely love the live action Alita movie. That is such a great movie, and I would love a sequel. I've never read the manga, but the movie made me want to read the original manga, every single series of Alita. So yeah, one day I'll do that, but there's a lot of Alita manga as well. I don't know when I'm going to do that actually. I've been thinking about it for a while. But so yeah, there's the next shelf. So, of the second shelf, my favorite manga would probably have to be the Twilight Princess manga. This is such an incredible adaptation of the game, while also expanding upon the game and adding much more characterization to Link. Link is such a great character in this, because he's not just a silent protagonist going off to save the world like in the game. He has actual like emotions and lines. He talks in this, which is weird, but eventually I get used to it. And the art in it is incredible. Let me just see if I can find a really good example of the art being amazing. Yeah, look at that. I absolutely love the art in it's not gonna focus, is it? Whatever. I absolutely love the art in this book. So yeah, that's my favorite manga from that shelf. So the next shelf that I recorded is actually the last shelf with books on it. I kind of recorded by going across and then down and then back across instead of going across and then across. So I'm going to be going backwards for this one. So this shelf is my light novels. After all my manga, I put my light novels at the end so I can keep all those together. So as you can see, I have a few novels here, most of which end at volume 2 for me, because I don't buy light novels as often, but I do like reading them. Well, most of which, actually, I just looked up, most of which end like around 2 or 3. I have a couple that are volume 4. Either way, I don't have a lot of each series for this. But as you can see, I have Log Horizon, and volume 1 on that of that series is smaller because it was in a Loot Anime. That was the Loot Anime version. It had to fit in the box, so it's a bit smaller. After that is Sword Art Online, which was the first anime I've ever watched, and that is the show that got me into anime. Well, technically, maybe Pokemon when I was a kid, but at that time I didn't know what anime was. Sword Art Online is the first anime I watched when I started to actually know what anime was, and that's what got me into anime. So yeah, I actually quite enjoy Sword Art Online, and I know it gets a lot of hate, but I quite enjoy it. It does have a lot of flaws, though, I will admit that, but I still find it enjoyable. Up next after Sword Art is So I'm a Spider, So What, which is an isekai series, which is most of my light novels actually. Only one light novel series I own is not an isekai. But this one is about a girl who goes into another world and becomes a spider. And that's it, really. It's a world that has video game-esque rules, like RPG rules, leveling up skills, and stuff like that. And it's quite good. I've only read the first 2 volumes, and I enjoyed what I read. And I do want to read more, but I don't remember what happened in the first 2 volumes, so I might have to reread those at some point. Up next is the Saga of Tanja the Evil, which is a good story. It's an interesting story to read. There's a lot to it, at least for volume 1. I never actually finished volume 1. I got halfway through it and then got busy with other books coming out, other novels coming out that I wanted to read, so I had to put that one on hold. And I might end up just restarting that one at some point, because I don't remember anything that happened in the first half of it. But I do really like it. It's such an interesting world, an interesting story to me. And lastly, I have the Rascal Does Not Dream series, and I absolutely love the anime for this, both the series and the movie. And the manga, the light novel is just as good. I'm sure the manga is just as good as well, but I don't have the manga for it. But the light novel is incredible. And I want to get the entire series of the light novel because I don't know if they're going to make any more movies or any more seasons. And I really want to read past the movie because the movie was incredible and the series was also incredible. So yeah, that is the third shelf for the show and tell. So yeah, as you can see, I also had some figures up there I didn't talk about. But I have a little SAO Season 2 Asuna figure with the blue hair. And I got that from a Loot Anime. And then I also have a Xenon figure that I got. That may or may not be a legit figure. I bought it online and I don't actually know if it's an official one. I know there is an official one that looks like that, but I don't know if the one I got is an official one or a replica, or like a I don't know what I'm looking for, like an illegitimate replica. But I have that as well. And then I also have some Pokemon figures. I have a little Pikachu and a Pokeball. I don't know where I got that. I've had that since I was a kid. And then I have a couple gold Pokemon cards. One of them was given to me, and it didn't have the Pokeball with it. And then the other one I bought at a flea market I found, or an antique mall actually. I got it at an antique mall, and that one did have the Pokeball. And then I have a couple other little Pokemon figures next to it as well. But the series on this shelf that is my favorite series from this shelf is, if you couldn't tell from how much I talked about it and how much I praised it, what is going on with my hair today, or this morning, whatever. I hate this so much. Okay, there we go, whatever, it's fine. Is the Rascal Does Not Dream series. I absolutely love this series. It's so good. Maybe I'll get the manga at some point, but I really want to get the entire series in light novel form first, before getting the manga of it. And on to the last shelf, I have more manga because I forgot to record all the manga first. I went straight to the light novel. But onto this shelf, I have Tokyo Ghoul, which is one of... Actually, no, this is my absolute favorite series that I own, and my favorite series that I've ever read. It is so incredibly good, and the art in it is amazing, and it gets better later on as well. I have all 14 volumes of the main Tokyo Ghoul series, and I have a few volumes of Tokyo Ghoul V, and I have seen all of the anime. I've seen all of season 1, all of Route A, which unfortunately is not that great in my opinion. It's alright, not the worst. The worst is the Tokyo Ghoul V series for the anime. That one I didn't really enjoy much, but the Route A season is alright. It's just not great. It changes everything from the manga. But I did watch that before I read the manga, so at the time I did enjoy it. But I absolutely love the manga version better. And then I'm sure I'm going to love Tokyo Ghoul V as well for the manga. It's just the anime didn't do that great in my opinion. It had some cool moments, but it was especially weird because there was stuff that it was referencing that didn't happen in the anime, but it happened in the manga. So I don't know what they were doing with it. But Tokyo Ghoul is my absolute favorite series that I own, or most favorite series that I own. And as for the anime, season 1 though, I will say is pretty good. I do really love season 1, and that opening is iconic in my opinion. But yeah, Tokyo Ghoul, favorite series I own. And as you can see, I have some Tokyo Ghoul Funko Pops as well that are just incredible. And lastly, I have Made in Abyss. This is another series that I really, really love, but I always forget what happened in the last volume when I go to get the next one. In fact, I always forget what happened in the entire series when I go to read the next one, and yet I still enjoy reading the next one. There's just so much that happens in this story, in this series, and it gets like crazy after the first few volumes, and it's just so much that happens and so much to it that it's so easy for me to forget everything, but I still absolutely love reading it, and it's such a good story as well, and the art in it is great as well. I've watched a bit of the anime. I never actually finished it. I know there's a movie that's a sequel. I know there's 3 movies. The first 2 are recaps of the series, but I know there's a 3rd movie that's a sequel, but I never watched that, and I never actually finished the anime either. But the anime is really good as well. Music is great, animation is great, sound design is incredible, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there is that. To finish this off, my favorite from that shelf is Tokyo Ghoul. It is just such an incredible series, and I cannot praise it enough. And then I also have, underneath all the manga, I have a shelf that is for my anime Blu-rays, but I only have one, and it's the movie A Silent Voice. This is the only anime Blu-ray I own, and I absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite anime movies, and one of my favorite movies in general of all time. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this little show and tell of my anime manga collection. I also have, I just remembered, on top of my shelf I took pictures of these as well, so they're not in the video, but I'll put the pictures up on the screen. I have a little Naruto coin bank, and then I also have a collection of ramen bottles, that whenever I get a new flavor that I haven't gotten before, I will put the bottle up on the shelf, or if I get a bottle that has a different like label or artwork around it that I don't have, I'll put that up on my shelf as well. And then behind here, actually behind my computers, I have a few posters, most of which I got from Loot Anime. So the first 2 posters, the one with the dragon and the one with the chess pieces, those are from Loot Anime. And then also the sold out poster is from Loot Anime as well. And then above it, I have a Weathering With You poster that I got when I went to see Weathering With You opening night in theaters. And then I also have a Silent Voice poster that came in the Blu-ray case of A Silent Voice. So yeah, that is my entire anime collection. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Before this video ends, actually, this is Future James from editing. I completely forgot to mention I also have a Princess Mononoke poster that I got as well, and I absolutely love this poster. I'll put a picture of it up on screen. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Alright, Future Editing James one more time. I also forgot that on the side of my bookshelf I have a collection of my movie tickets for every single anime movie that I have seen in theaters. As you can see, there are 3 of them that are not actual tickets. That is because I lost the tickets, but I remembered what they were and what order I saw them in, so I just wrote them on a little piece of paper that is about the same size as a movie ticket, and I put that up on the wall, or up on the shelf instead. So yeah, that is my collection of anime movie tickets. And now that should be everything. I don't think I missed anything now. I'll see you next time. I actually did forget something, and I swear this is the last Future Editing James for this video. I did forget one thing. I have some pins that are hanging from the side of the top shelf on thumbtacks, and they are pins and a keychain that I got from Loot Anime boxes. So yeah, this is actually everything now, I swear, and I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next video.